Hello there, and welcome to Spoiler Piece Theater, the podcast that doesn't give a shit about spoilers. We just want to talk about the movies. My name is Dave Riedel. I'm a movie writer type person. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association.
My name's Evan Crean. My pronouns are he, him. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of Your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's a Pictures podcast.
Indeed you are, sir. So, we have a big fucking new release to talk to you about this week with plenty of swearing. And in the movie and coming from my mic also, I just realized I dropped an F-bomb very early in this episode.
Did you know?
Yeah. Hey, did I ever tell you the story about one time I was probably in my mid-20s going down to visit the family in Florida for Christmas? Mom, dad, the grandparents, all the uncles, everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom says to me, David, please, whatever you do, can you please just keep the F-bombs to a minimum? All right? I was like, yeah, Mom, no problem. No problem at all. Go in, have fun, meet everybody again. My grandfather says to me in a room full of people, Dave, how's the new apartment in New York? And I just looked at him without missing a beat and said, Grampy, I can't live in that fucker anymore. And I don't know if I've ever seen my dad laugh so hard in his life. Because he had been a part of that conversation too. And I was like, and it just came out. It just slipped out, man. So anyway, so that's
what
what
to say. Like, don't worry, Mom, I won't say fuck, not even once.
Yeah, no, not like that. It's just that I said I wouldn't, and then I forgot that I said I wouldn't because it's just,
oops.
You know, it's like a vegetable to me, I guess. I don't know. It's just part of life. So anyway, that was a little roundabout tale about nothing, but just to let you know what kind of person I've always been. But this week we are talking about the new, well, I'll tell you about Patreon first. We're talking about Patreon. We're talking about 48 Hours. Yeah, that's right. We covered 48 Hours. I think Evan wanted to see it, and I, of course, will watch 48 Hours whenever. Evan had not seen it in a long time, so we had a really fun conversation about that. Lots of F-bombs in that too. But we also talked about the things in 48 Hours that are, if you will, problematic, et cetera, et cetera.
That we did.
We did.
We covered all our bases, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good conversation. If you're a patron, please check it out. If you're not a patron, please consider becoming one. And if you are our sponsor piece patron, your name is Heather Sachs. And thank you, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
So anyway, this week on the show, we are talking about ye old Mortal Kombat 2. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't remember why we decided to watch this, other than it's a huge new release. Oh, Evan,
right.
You were like, oh, hey, I don't know if this is going to be any better than the first one, but Carl Urban is Johnny Cage. And I was like, oh, Carl Urban. And yeah, you, with that, mention, you talked me into it. Because I think otherwise I would have been like, no, I don't know, man. Because I went to rewatch Mortal Kombat, or as I thought, watch it for the first time. It turns out I saw it when it came out 5 or 6 years ago, and I gave it 1.5 stars. And so I started watching it again. I got about 10 minutes into it. I was like, that's right. This is a piece of shit. I just shut it off.
Yeah, we did review it back when it came out in 2021. And I don't remember hating it, but I also remember there being some substantial flaws.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I am so pleased to report I had a fucking blast at this movie.
Yeah, I did too, but I was also really pleasantly surprised that you did. I didn't think you would hate it or anything, but I really didn't know, because I was like, I did kind of convince you to watch the movie. So I was like, yeah, maybe he won't like it.
No, it was, I got to tell you, well, Carl Urban's charm goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
He's the perfect person to play this incarnation of Johnny Cage.
Right.
There's also the comic relief in this movie is really smart. You got Kano doing his thing, just being a cheeky Australian. You got Johnny Cage kind of caught between bravado and his bruised ego. And then you've got, I don't even know what he is, the guy with the huge mouth and teeth, who's the other comic relief.
The huge mouth and teeth.
the guy who's like leads that tribe and everybody. Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. But anyway, yeah. We ran into Movie Bob Chipman last night, and he said that this movie should be called Mortal Kombat 2. Sorry about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you saw the first one, you know that there's barely any Mortal Kombat in it. I don't even think they fight the tournament yet.
No, I don't think so.
In that one, it's all like set up to the tournament. And so, yeah, it's like they figured out like, oh, maybe we should put some fighting in this one, some actual like tournament fighting. Isn't that what people show up to a Mortal Kombat movie for? And then they were like, not only should we put fighting, but let's put fighting literally every 5 minutes. There's like a new fight. And sometimes let's put concurrent fighting happening like in two different places. Like these guys are fighting over here, this battle, and these guys are over here fighting this battle at the same time.
Well, you know what's kind of amazing about that? I was thinking about it during the final two battles, the one where Katana is fighting, I guess, her adoptive father. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, Shao Kahn.
And Johnny Cage is fighting. Who's Johnny Cage fighting?
Johnny Cage is with Kano and Scorpion, and they're fighting the weird, like, undead version of Sub-Zero.
Right.
In hell.
In hell. And with the help of Scorpion, who is also in hell, but his hell, he has managed to transform into heaven when he's in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was watching that going, look, I'm not really sure how this makes any sense, but it's also just kind of cool.
Right.
So,
yeah. To see him like, like Zen gardening, and he's got this like peach tree, and then like he just snaps back to it and everything just turns to ash and dust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kano, very good comic relief in there. And they made the wise choice to not have, when Johnny Cage and Kano are in scenes at the same time, not have them both wisecracking. They let one or the other do it. And so basically what I'm getting at is they knew they made a bad movie with the first one. And they were just like, okay, I don't know if Jeremy Slater, who is the credited screenwriter, did this whole thing himself or if there were lots of rewrites. But this actually feels like a movie that was completely thought out. Now, I'm sure it's a huge budget fucking action movie. I'm sure things change behind the scenes, all that. I didn't read about any of it because I don't really give a shit. But it just feels like everyone was like, it's kind of like, I imagine how things went after Star Trek, the motion picture in 1979. It's like, all right, we put out a movie, made a lot of money, but nobody liked it. So let's buckle down and get the next one right, no matter what we do. And then you get Wrath of Khan. And this is the Mortal Kombat version of Wrath of Khan. I mean, it's not even remotely similar in a story thing. I'm just saying in the feeling behind it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And anyway, we were talking about the intercutting between the two fight scenes at the end. And I just remember thinking to myself, I can't believe how good the editing is in this movie. This, movies like this, it's usually like, every time that I watch The Dark Knight, which is not much anymore, it's kind of like that movie was edited with a chainsaw. If you some of it like works really well, but some of it's really disjointed. I don't know if you remember The Dark Knight Rises. That movie was edited with by a blind man. I don't know. Like none of that comes together.
I have not seen that one as much or as recently.
Yeah, but I guess the point is like I was just kind of amazed how on pretty much every level they just stepped up the game and were like, we're going to just make a fucking good movie,
Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's not going to overstay its welcome. It was like a solid, hour 45 with credits?
Well, with the credits, it's like an hour. Like the credits are long. So I think story, it's an hour 45, yeah. But that's perfect. That's a perfect running time. Exactly.
It's tight. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's got a nice kind of wraparound story with the opening of the film is you meet Katana, who is the hero of the story, and like her father is fighting.
I'm an incel. Boo. Sorry.
Her father is fighting, Shao Kahn for control of their kingdom. He's, been there. He's the last fighter. He's got to fight this crazy giant. And he loses. And so, Shao Kahn takes over their kingdom, and she's been living as his adopted daughter, like under his thumb this entire time. Now she's an adult, and she's like, we've got the Mortal Kombat tournament, and if Shao Kahn wins, he'll take over the Earth realm as well. So we gotta stop him. So she has this amulet that she was gifted by her father so she can coordinate with Raiden and his fighters. So she's kind of like the sleeper agent who's helping them out behind Shao Kahn's back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, there's some Mortal Kombat. There's some actual like tournament happening where people are fighting and sometimes dying in the tournament. And then there's all this like extra combat that's going on the side because there's this amulet that gives Shao Kahn the power to be immortal, and they slice open Raiden's throat and charge it with that. And then so for a little while he's immortal, so they have to like break in the palace and steal the amulet back and try and destroy it. But then it gets smuggled to hell by Sub-Zero, and they have to go to hell to get that. All while Katana and Sonya are like trying to, and Liu Kang are trying to fight Shao Kahn.
Yeah. And I guess I don't know why I thought this was going to be a PG-13 movie, but oh boy, is it not.
No, it's a hard R. There's lots of fucks. There's lots of killing. I would argue good killing, to borrow your phrase.
Yes.
And lots of blood, but like well placed. It doesn't feel like it's just bloody for the sake of being bloody. The kills feel like they make sense in the matches, as
and some of
brutal
them
as
do
they
really,
fucking are.
Yeah, some of them do mimic the video games pretty closely too.
Like the finishing moves and stuff.
Yes. And Sub-Zero does yell, "Get over here," which I think comes right from the game because that's not that actor's voice.
Oh yeah, Scorpions. Yeah, get over here. Yeah. Another thing that I will add is that the audience that we saw this with was fucking raucous. They were eating this up. They were cheering. They were clapping. There were people in the seats in front of me who were literally bouncing up and down in their chairs. They were so fucking excited about this movie and what it was doing.
Well, imagine if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, and this is what, the fourth movie or the fifth movie, the sequel to the reboot. There were at least two movies in the 90s. There may have been another one.
Yeah, there was Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which I think was the second one was like early 2000s. And then, I don't know if there was any in between before we got Mortal Kombat in 2021.
Yeah, but think of that. You get Mortal Kombat and you've been waiting for it for how long? And you're like, this is fucking Mortal Kombat? And then this comes out and it's actually toes a really difficult line between fan service and being a movie that if you don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, you can watch. Because I'm sure there are people who have only seen The Boys or Dread who are going to be like, Carl Urban? Fucking A, I'm going to go see that. You've never played Mortal Kombat. Who gives a shit? And this movie does a really good job without making it seem like it's exposition of, I mean, it's kind of amazing. You know?
It is. Yeah, because a worse movie like you would be a lot more exposition on like, here's the realms, here's the Indians or whatever they are, Katana's people and the tournaments and the rules and the this and that. And it really doesn't spend time on that. Like it uses some dialogue as exposition, but it really just is like, okay, and we're going to drop you in here and you're just going to have to like pick up the rules. And like even early on, I think Carl Urban says something like, wait a minute, there are like no rules to this thing. Like people can like be killed outside of the tournament. And they're like, yeah. It's like, okay, well that I don't want any part of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, now I don't know if I liked this so much because it's actually good or if it's so much better than the other one, but I kind of feel like this is a legitimately good action movie,
I agree. I think it's legitimately good. I think it moves, like you said, it doesn't get bogged down in exposition, but still is accessible to, I think, someone who either didn't play Mortal Kombat or wasn't really invested. I mean, there's not really a ton of narrative in the early games from what I remember. Like,
no.
Super Nintendo, which was when I was playing Mortal Kombat 2, and I never really stuck around for any of the later games to get into like all the other like, storylines when there's like some cyborg dudes or something. I don't know. There's like crazy numbers of characters that get added to this.
Yeah,
like, different like ninjas that look like Scorpion and Sub-Zero that have like different colors, like Reptile and some of those. I don't fucking know any of those things.
I don't either. I remember I don't know which Mortal Kombat game it is, but I saw what at the time was a new one. And this character is in the first movie, but it's that like giant green guy with like 2 sets of arms or whatever.
Oh, Goro?
Yeah, is that what he's called?
I think
I just remember seeing that going like, that guy's cool, but like, how could anybody fucking fight that guy? And then I played the game and he fucking flattened me in 2 seconds.
Yeah. It's actually pretty funny. So in the 90s Mortal Kombat, Johnny Cage does like a split and punches Goro in the nuts, and that's like a whole like gag. And then in this one, Johnny Cage does a split and punches that other guy, the like barbarian guy in the nuts. And then that's when the guy, instead of getting mad, goes, "I respect you." He's like, "Get up."
You are the best fighter. That's the best fighting I've ever seen. Yeah. I also love that guy kind of has an Australian accent. It just made me laugh. Yeah. And to that point, I don't remember what those characters are called. They're called something. But they go to all of the good Mortal Kombat fighters go to them for help breaking into the castle so they can steal the amulet. And when you get there, it's like, first you think, oh, this is just going to be some fucking gross thing. But then it kind of turns into a gag. And then you're like, okay, this is funny. And the fight between Johnny Cage and this guy is funny, but how long is this going to go on? And the moment I started thinking that, it was over. And I was like, oh, they fucking reined it in. Oh my God. And then he takes them to like this, the secret bridge, which is why nobody goes in it, because they would have to go through those people. And they are terrifying looking. It's really good costume design, I would say. And then instead of staying around and being comic relief, he fucks off. I'm like, oh my God. I cannot believe how well this is coming. Like the whole time I'm watching him, be like, this should not be this fun. It just shouldn't be. Know?
It just keeps continuing to be, but like there are stakes though. Like the people do get killed. Like Louis Tan, who was in the first one, he was kind of like one of the main characters. Like he's killed fairly early in the tournament by Shao Kahn in a brutal fashion.
Is that the hammer in the head?
Yeah, the gigantic hammer with a smashed head. And then he kills Jax too in a pretty gruesome way. He shoves the pointy end of that hammer like right through his throat. Yeah.
That was pretty rough. I mean, I didn't love the performance, the guy who gives Jax his performance, but I still felt bad. I was like, but Jax was cool. He was a team player. He had cool arms, and
he didn't kill Jade in their match, even though he could have. He showed her mercy, just like Katana shows Johnny Cage mercy. By the way, I that's a brilliant plot point. Is that in the beginning they're like, okay, Johnny Cage, you're summoned to be one of the fighters, and he's like at a convention. He's like washed up. He's like, I don't want any part of this. Like, this is insane, and there's no way I'm going to do this. Like, why would I risk my neck for this? I'm going to go like drink a bunch of beers. And they're like, that's fine, but you're going to get called anyway, and you could just get like summoned to the realm. And he's like at the bar about to get another drink, and the fucking shows up in the middle of this like ring and is completely unprepared and gets his ass kicked so badly. But Katana spares him. This is before we were like, know for sure that she's like a double agent.
I mean, and I would say it's kind of obvious that she's a double agent, but I mean, that's a minor quibble.
Yeah. So she spares him, and then he ends up, even though he's eliminated from the tournament, he's still like fighting and helping them after that. And he finally figures out his shit. But I also love that during the like Comic Con like section, we see a clip from one of his old movies. What was it called?
Uncaged Fury. Uncaged Fury is like a prison movie, I think.
Yeah. And it's like, actually, this movie is a New Line movie. So like that movie is a New Line movie, and you get to see like a scene from the movie, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, and it's also really clever how they did it, because New Line is also acknowledging that it used to do shitty low budget movies way back when. I mean, now they're fucking New Line, but then actually in the 90s, they were already on their way, because, Nightmare on Elm Street, which was their first big thing, was 84. Right. So, but anyway, it's just a nice nod to that whole thing. And all of those 80s and 90s martial arts movies with those guys who were martial arts champions, but had no business being actors. Don the Dragon Wilson.
Yeah. The Jean-Claude Van Dammes of the world.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Chuck Norris, like all those guys were making these like low to medium budget movies, that some of which were coming out in theaters, some of which were like direct to video stuff. Yeah, it felt very like a fun homage to movies of that era with the whole like he puts his sunglasses on with his middle finger. That was a fun recurring gag in the movie.
And that's how he finds his power. It's through his sunglasses, right?
Yep.
That's right. Because everybody has like a magic power they can do. And he's like, well, I don't have a magic power. And they're like, well, you haven't figured it out yet. He's like, well, how am I going to figure it out? And then it turns out it's the sunglasses.
Well, yeah, there's that moment where it's up to him to smash the amulet because Scorpion and I think Jade are like blasting him, or Kano. They're all like blasting Sub-Zero, and then he like winds up with this like massive kick and somehow has this like green aura now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm Johnny fucking Cage.
That's right. Well, the guy with the teeth thinks his name is Johnny fucking Cage.
Right.
which is also just funny. Yeah. I mean, it's so weird. I kind of wonder if the next movie is good because it's the same screenwriter for the third one. I already read that, which makes perfect sense because bang up job, dude. Jeremy Slater, whoever you are. I do wonder, there are some things I wonder about because there's lore in this movie that I don't understand. And I think I wouldn't understand it even if I had watched the first one front to back again. Like the whole idea that you can be killed, like Liu Kang is killed in this one, but he's like, well, I can come back and I'm going to bring back. Who's he going to bring back? Not Sub-Zero.
No. God, what's the other character? Kung Lao. Kung Lao is killed in the first one, and he's resurrected in this one to fight for Shao Kahn and his group. So yeah, there's a pretty gnarly fucking fight. It's probably one of the better fight scenes in the movie between Kung Lao and Liu Kang.
Yeah,
and Kung Lao's like razor blade hat is spinning all over the place, like, and it's turned into like a table saw in the floor, and Liu Kang just fucking drags Kung Lao across the chainsaw, the buzzsaw, and like splits him in half.
Yeah, I actually really wondered how they were that fooled me because I really thought Liu Kang was going to die there.
Me too. They'd already established that nobody was safe by that point because they had already killed a couple of other fighters. So I was like, oh, he could die in the scene. Yeah,
he dies later, but as he's dying, he's like, I'm not really dying. I'm going to go get what's his face back.
Kung Lao,
Kung Lao, and then he floats up into the sky on his like Liu Kang fire. So I don't know what that's about with like everybody being Jesus, but you know.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. So where they leave the movie is like, you know, Katana defeats Shao Kahn and reclaims her throne, and you know, Earth has obviously won Mortal Kombat, so because she officially switches sides, and so she's fighting for Earthrealm. And then at the end, Raiden's power is restored because they've destroyed the amulet. And he's like, all right, we lost too many of our fighters. Like, let's go get them, which I assume means like, let's go to Underworld or Netherworld or whatever the fuck it is to go find them and reclaim their souls or some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I did think, by the way, that it was cool when, you know, they got the 5 flames for each side up there, the blue flames for the good guys and the orange flames for the bad guys. And it looks like all the blue flames are out. And then Katana's like, no, I blah, blah, blah. I fight for Earth. And then the blue flame comes up and then one of the orange ones disappears. I thought everyone was going to lose their minds.
Yeah, that was peak when the people were losing their minds in the movie, but they were really losing their minds. Like when Johnny Cage pulled off that kick to smash the amulet, there were just so many moments where everybody was like exploding in the theater. Like, especially when they cue the like classic Mortal Kombat theme, like, not the one from like the video game, but like the one with like the guy in the background, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
People fucking lost their shit when those musical cues came on.
Yeah.
And I admit, they're fucking fun. It's like a fun song.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I will never understand how did they just look at the first one and be like, all right, every decision we made, you remember what your decision was when you did that?
Mm-hmm.
What would if you had done the opposite, would it have worked?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend, a guy I grew up with, who shall remain nameless because this is a personal story. But his dad has been married and divorced 5 times. And so when he and his wife started their family, it's like, well, how's that, what's it like being married considering like what you lived through? And he's like, oh, I just think to myself, well, whenever I come to a challenging point in my marriage or when I'm looking at one of my kids, I think, what would my dad have done? And then I literally do the opposite thing. And it's like they had that conversation with themselves in the writer's room here.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. They did. Also, by the way, I love that Katana's whole thing is that she's taught like anything can be a weapon. And so it's like she has these fans that have blades. That's like her primary weapon. And then like at the end, she literally takes the tie out of her hair, like connects back to the beginning. She pulls it off of her dead dad and like ties it to her hair. And now she uses it to like turn the tables and strangle the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, God, it's like the callback, like that calls back to itself. It's like, I don't know. It's like people who know how to make movies made this movie. I don't know, Evan.
Yeah. Because so often these like big dumb action movies are so big and dumb, they just have like no like through line or anything like that.
Yeah. What was the Marvel movie where Kumail Nanjiani got huge?
Eternals. Like,
yeah, you think, oh, Eternals sounds cool. It's a cool cast, could be good. And then it's just fucking dog shit. And I think that's what people must have been worried about with this after the first one, you know?
Yeah, understandable. By the way, Kumail Nanjiani likes being ripped and has since like kept his like crazy physique.
He has. Well, what I think is I saw him doing stand-up since not like I saw him on like a special or something. I didn't like go see him. But he was talking about how he was the first person in the history of ever when he got in shape that people made fun of him for getting in shape. It's like, I gave up cake for all of you people. Cake.
He's great. He's a very funny guy.
He is. Well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I really want to see Mortal Kombat 3 whenever that comes out.
Yeah, I'd watch it. They got my butt in the seat after this one.
Yeah, the problem is with the way they make movies now, sequels come out, it's a long time between sequels. Not necessarily legacy sequel length, but do you remember how it was 2 years? You got, if they were going to do a sequel, you got it in 2, at most 3 years.
Right.
You know? And now it's not uncommon, 5 years, 6 years between sequels. I don't remember when the last Miles Morales Spider-Man movie was, but I'm pretty sure that they said the third one was going to come out in like a year to 18 months. And it's been what now? 4 years? I think it's finally coming out this year.
Yeah. I think they had other problems as to why that got delayed that I'm not remembering off the top of my head. But yeah, I think they were working on it a while ago. And initially, if they hadn't hit whatever roadblocks they hit, they would have been able to deliver it as quickly as they wanted to.
Well, hopefully they can hit the next Mortal Kombat as quickly as they want to, but still keep it good.
Right.
That's all. That's all we want as moviegoers.
That'd be ideal. Yeah, it's true. I want a big, fun action movie that's dumb, but not too dumb.
I know. And people have said to me the entire time I've been reviewing movies or I've been a reporter or whatever, it's like, you really love to shit on things. I'm like, no, I don't. I mean, it's easy, unfortunately, to write bad reviews because a lot of the time, especially if you've seen a million movies and you've been to film school and all that stuff, you know exactly what's wrong. You know what they could have done instead. You don't know if that would be a fix. You don't know if you're Dr. Chris, screenwriter, screen doctor or whatever. But it's so much more fun to watch a movie that you like and then have to think, all right, well, why do I like this? What works about it?
What makes it good? Yeah.
Yeah. And it can't just be, well, you know, I saw the first one when I was like 12 and that was a seminal experience for me. And now that I'm 27 and they finally made the second one, that's why I like, no, that's not a reason. I know way too many fucking critics who think that way, by the way. But this is, I have become, I wouldn't say I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, but I am genuinely looking forward to the next movie. And also, we haven't really talked about Karl Urban that much. He's terrific in this. He's always terrific.
He is, and I knew he would be, and I knew he would. I think I joked with Movie Bob before the movie started, like, how much is Karl Urban's presence going to impact this movie's letter grade? Like, my thought is significant. And while he is very good and very charismatic and very funny, and he is holding up some of the movie, the movie is actually good enough that, like, it's not all on his shoulders, and, like, everyone else is pretty good in this too.
Right. That's true. I mean, I don't really think there are any weak links, so to say. I mean, I think that Sonya's character has always been a little
blah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's her name? Jennifer McNamee or Jessica McNamee, or it's McNamee. I know that's her last name.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, she's fine. But I've always kind of felt like I've never really, when Bridget Wilson played her, I'm like, what does she do again? I mean, she's got guns. Great. But I will say in the fighting scenes in this, she does have a real role. You know, she is a good fighter, and she helps out Katana during her final battle. So that's cool. But if this movie has one problem, and it's not even really a problem, it's just that some of the characters from the first movie, it's like they kind of have to find things for them to do because, well, we didn't kill them off. So they got to be in this one. And so what do we do with them? Right. But it all still works out in the end. I mean.
Yeah. I liked Tati Gabrielle, who plays Jade. I think she's really good.
She great.
Brings a kind of like, what's her name from Guardians of the Galaxy? She reminds me a bit of.
Okay, are you talking about Zoe Saldana?
No, I mean the kind of sister relationship that they have between Gamora and I'm totally blanking on the character's name.
Oh, Karen Gillan.
Similar here with Katana and Jade. Yes, I'm blanking on Karen Gillan's character's name.
Yeah, it's something that. Right. Let's call her Blueface. You know, whatever. Yeah. By the way, I'll talk with this about you.
Nebula.
Nebula. Karen Gillan popped into my head the other day, and it's kind of a bizarre. I mean, it's not like weird or anything, but anyway, talk about that later. So, by the way, did you know that Karl Urban's real first name is Karl Heinz?
That's his first name?
Yes.
So he's a compound name.
He has a compound name. I'm guessing his parents are German or something. I don't know. I mean, he's Australian, so his parents could be from anywhere, literally.
Is he particularly tall? Like,
or rather, he's from New Zealand. But yeah, is he tall?
Yeah, because I feel like watching this movie, I was like, he feels like he's tall and kind of like built. But I was like, I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I never really like thought that about him.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say he's at least 6 feet tall because he's not a small guy, you know? And I know that, who's the pretty boy who played James Kirk? Is it Chris Pine?
Yeah.
Chris Pine is not what I would call tall. And Karl Urban, I feel like in those few Star Trek movies, is significantly taller than Kirk. So I'm going to put him at around 6 feet.
His IMDb says 6'1". So
okay, there you go. Karl Heinz Urban, yeah. Anyway, and yes, I was wrong. He's from New Zealand, but you know, there you have it.
Yeah.
Well,
he's having as much fun in this movie as he is in Dredd.
Oh, for sure. Except the difference is in Dredd, you only see his mouth turned with, you know, he's got that smile is turned upside down. Yeah, he's frowning the entire movie. Kind of looks like he has to take a shit a lot, but that's okay. I mean, Dredd is that kind of character.
Right.
And he also does the sort of kind of does a Blade voice in Dredd, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
A little bit. And I got to say, there were a couple times in this where I thought he sounded like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yes. When he called somebody Bub, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe that was a nod. Who knows?
Could have been.
Anyway, do you have anything else you want to say about what you call it? Mortal
Kombat 2? No. This movie's fucking great. I was so pleasantly surprised. I cannot recommend highly enough.
Oh, I wanted to, we were talking about who made the previous movie. Same director too. I didn't mention that. Same director. So it's also kind of interesting that the studio was like, look, the first movie was bad. Probably wasn't your fault. Maybe it was, but obviously somebody at New Line was like, okay, it wasn't his fault. Let's give him another shot. You know, I appreciate all this is what I'm saying. I like second chances in the movie biz.
Me too.
Okay. Well, that's everything for Spoiler Piece Theater this week. I have to say it was an absolute delight to go to a movie thinking, I'm not sure what I'm getting into. It's probably going to suck. And then it was fucking great. And then we're having fun talking about it. This is why you do podcasts. Yeah. Alrighty. So anyway, that's Spoiler Piece Theater. Mortal Kombat 2 is out in theaters now. It came out today, the day that this episode comes out. Want to thank our editor. Tried to say editor and Otto's name, I think, together. Our editor, Otto Clamor, for doing the heavy lifting each week. Thank you, Otto, for making us sound great.
Yeah, thanks, Otto.
You can find Spoiler Piece Theater anywhere you get podcasts, our website. I'm Evan. It's late at night. Our website is spoilerpiece.com. On social media, we're Spoiler Piece Theater on Facebook, and we're at Spoiler Piece on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads, and Blue Sky. And if you want to email us, please do so at spoilerpiece@gmail.com. Tell us what you were most pleasantly surprised about for Mortal Kombat 2, and the thing about the first one that made you go like, oh, come on, the most. So I think that would be fun. Yeah. And if you like the show, please rate and review us. You can do that at ratethispodcast.com/spoilerpiece, or you can rate us directly on Apple and Spotify. That helps us out a whole ton. And if you really, really like the show, please consider joining our Patreon. It is $5 a month to get an extra episode each week just for you, gang. And then there's a poll once a month where you vote on some movies that we throw out there. And we've got one of those coming up in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout for that. My name is Dave Riedel. I'm a movie yapper. I'm a member of the Boston Online Film Critics Association. And I'm on Instagram as DM Riedel and Dave Sees Movies. And I'm Dave Sees Movies on all the other things except for X, where X can suck a dick. DIK.
Still cracks me up every time.
Thank you.
My name is Evan Crean. I'm co-chair of the Boston Online Film Critics Association, co-author of your 80s Movie Guide to Better Living, and co-host of the It's the Pictures podcast. You can follow me on social media as Real Recon, and that's real as in film reel.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.